Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the launch of ESS Small Business. We're very happy to be bringing you this special webinar tonight, and I'm joined by the chairman of Corporate Connectors, Mr. Rick Nash, who's going to talk to you a little bit later in this presentation. How are you tonight, Rick?
Very well, Peter, thank you.
Okay, well, let's move on and let's have a look, first of all, at the products that are in the overall ESS suite. ESS stands for Enterprise Support Systems. Our main product is ESS BizTools, which has been around for 16 years as a business development tool for accountants in Australia and New Zealand. ESS BizGrants has been in operation for 3 years to assist accountants and advisors to identify government grants that might be suitable for small, medium enterprises. And in the next couple of weeks, we're about to release a new product, which is called Find a Grant, which is a specialized program for SMEs to identify grants that they might be eligible for. And tonight, of course, we are launching ESS Small Business, which is assistance for small, medium enterprise operators. There's no doubt that business is changing, not only in Australia, but in the whole world. But it's critical that as a business owner or a manager, you consider ways that you can work more on your business rather than always in your business. Obviously, everyone has to work in their business at some stage, but you need to take some time out to plan where you're going, to have some thinking, to talk to your colleagues and other people who are operating in businesses to understand what they're doing and trying to learn from them. And hopefully, we're going to be able to assist you in this journey, because it's very essential that a country like Australia has an outstanding small, medium enterprise community. People who are able to employ people, contribute ideas, and grow businesses are great for our country's economy. So the business partners that we have assembled within ESS Small Business, a significant number of originated from the Corporate Connectors organisation, which Rick will talk about in a moment. Affinity Alliance, which produces a outstanding magazine, which is available to members on a monthly basis. Bookkeeping Central, which offers a bookkeeping service to small, medium enterprises throughout Australia. On the Level HR is a human resources system specialising in disc reviews for businesses. Market Smartly is a marketing company with a great interest in modern marketing techniques. Home Loans Limited is headed up by Robert, who is an expert at finding grants and loans for small businesses, not so much grants, but loans. Milne Alexander, insurance brokers. Automates, getting your best car deal through Automates. Telegate, fantastic people to talk to about telephone deals. And Send Out Cards, a very unique way to implement a marketing strategy for a business. So they're the initial business partners from Corporate Connectors in ESS Small Business. There will be some others who join us over the next few weeks, but these are the members who are participating in this launch tonight. And over the next 6 weeks or so, we are going to interview most of those people within this program to talk about what their products are all about. We're also joined by some of ESS BizTools business partners. CCH firm. CCH is a company that's 178 years old. Its head office is in Holland, and it's the world's major supplier of technical information to accountants and lawyers. And they have an outstanding computer software division these days. IODM, which is a debt management facilitation package. Benchmarking.com has benchmarks for 120 different types of businesses whereby you can compare your business activities to your peers. Marchant Dallas are professional sales training. Trevor Marchant was previously the training manager for Westpac. I never knew banks had training managers till I met Trevor, but he is an outstanding trainer who travels around Australia training accountants, but also small, medium enterprise operators. Plan Guru are an international company operating in 40 countries that have an outstanding range of products built around budgets and cash flow forecasts. Leadership Academy is headed by a former colonel in the Australian Army who has developed a small business leadership product which we utilise exclusively within ESS BizTools. Townsville Social Media Marketing is headed by our own IT consultant, Tracy Rattari, and this organisation, obviously, as the name suggests, specialises in social media. Volutsa is a company which helps with getting survey information from customers. And we'll be talking more about Volutsa in the next few weeks. And BizTalk, a brand new company which is launching in 3 weeks' time, in the middle of October, is a very interesting organisation that's been assembled by a former colleague of mine when I was part of the federal government's COMET, Commercialising Emerging Technology program. And this organisation has brought together about 60 experts in all sorts of aspects of commercialising new technology. And the company intends to operate in Australia, India, and the United States. So they're the business partners that are going to also participate in webinars and supply of articles and information within ESS Small Business. One of the keys to putting a group like this together has been identifying some basis whereby we could talk to you, the small medium enterprise market. I must admit, 16 years ago, I had a discussion with a gentleman who suggested to me that at that stage, the product that I developed for accountants should be targeted at small medium enterprises. And at the time, I hesitated because I wondered how I was going to market to small businesses. And at that stage in Australia, we probably thought there were only about 700,000 or 800,000 small businesses. Well, the GST proved to the government there was a lot more. And then a year ago, I met a guy called Rick Nash who told me his plan was to develop a network of businesses, of similarly minded people who could see some benefits in joining their activities together to achieve some common good. And I'm very pleased that Rick invited me, representing ESS, to join this group, because I can see it gives us a great opportunity to be able to communicate to a significant section of the small business market. So with that introduction, I'd like to now introduce you to Rick Nash, the chairman of Corporate Connectors.
Thanks for that, Peter. Guys, I'll give you a very abridged rundown of Corporate Connectors and how it works and what brought it about. About 18 months ago, through another entity that we have called Your GM, we have significant exposure to how various SMEs work. We're constantly asked to help in a lot of the operational and business development issues that pretty much every SME faces during its growth. One of the things that struck us out of Your GM was that in business, as Peter alluded to, we're constantly running around trying to put out lots of different bushfires on a day-to-day basis, as well as build and develop the business. and it really struck us that one of those things that we try and do is that we try and network. We try and go and talk to other parties, and we attend various structured networking events such as BNI and so on. And we started to think about how effectively networking could be improved. What issues did we perceive were problematic with the current model, and how could we possibly look at building a more effective model? So we looked at a number of those structured entities, and a number of issues struck us. One is that referrals are very ad hoc and potentially infrequent. So there's no system internally in a number of these structured networking groups to consistently drive referral. So they're very ad hoc and very infrequent. The second thing is that networking is traditionally very time-consuming, and particularly if you're operating in the SME space, where at an operational level you're resource poor and in terms of staffing, and a lot of those networking issues and opportunities tend to fall to the SME business owner. So it's time-consuming. It takes you away from your existing day-to-day business. So we started looking at that and thinking, look, is there a better way to basically leverage networking in a more consistent fashion? And one of the things that really struck us is one of the big issues around conventional networking is that even if that networking in and of itself produced referrals, one of the things was that, or the most significant issue was that there was almost no cross-promotion. So if I happen to give a referral for a fleet management opportunity or for a web opportunity or whatever, the ability for people to reciprocate was very much one-on-one. And in fact, much like Peter, we have a range of different business interests. If it was an HR issue, for argument's sake, then why wouldn't we open up our database and our client base to provide education for that HR specialist across our database? In other words, we have, for argument's sake, 14,000 fleet management clients. So if someone's talking about the PPSA, which happens to be one of Peter's pet expertise areas in terms of providing information around the risks of the PPSA, instead of just talking to one party, why wouldn't I ask Peter to talk to all of our business clients? And it really struck us that was a fundamental flaw in the existing networking structures. The referrals are essentially individual referrals, and the ability to cross-promote appropriately through our collective databases just did not exist. And that's a pretty glaring flaw, essentially. So what did we do about it? Well, we thought, look, maybe we could come up with a model that did a number of things. One is reduce the time that we had to apply to networking ourselves, took advantage of the ability of other networking members to be open about cross-promoting our business to them, and vice versa. So we essentially come up with a model which has evolved into Corporate Connectors. So Corporate Connectors is now Australia's first managed business networking group. When I say managed, it is a managed networking group. So instead of having to attend individual functions, events, and so on and so forth, the Corporate Connector members have somebody that does that on their behalf. So we essentially pool our resources in terms of finance. We collectively employ across the group a management team. The management team's objective is to identify individual opportunities and cross-promotional opportunities within the group, to look at third-party opportunities and introductions, make introductions on behalf of the member, the Corporate Connectors member, and so on. So essentially, it's an aggregated model. It's a collegiate model. We all are happy to cross-promote through a central management team, and that central management team's job is to work on behalf of all of the members. Corporate Connectors is also established as a non-profit entity. in the pure sense of the word, that it's not been established under a commercial model. It doesn't have to make money. The key thing is that as long as our collective monthly payments meet the ability for the corporate connectors to run and pay for the management team, that's fine. So if you're an entity that is looking to increase its exposure, decrease your networking hit in terms of the actual time that it takes for you, and effectively add a whole raft of business development managers to your business that are very well connected, then possibly looking at corporate connectors is something that will work for you. It was interesting, Peter talked about the reach, for argument's sake, in corporate connectors at the moment. And when we started in February, March of 2015, we believed if we had access to maybe a couple of 100,000 collective business or contacts or connections or customers or clients of the group by the end of the first 12 months, then we would have been very happy with that, that we could collectively be promoted to. As of the 22nd of September, we have around 800,000, and close to 500,000 of those are business clients, members, or customers of the group. So that's a very, very significant number. To wake up tomorrow, any business to wake up tomorrow with the ability to promote and market to 500,000 other businesses and 300,000 individuals, with the imprimatur of the database holders, in other words, your corporate connect colleagues, and have that centrally managed for you by a management team who bring the opportunities to you. That's a very, very, very powerful collective networking model. So I hope that's a bit of a convoluted way of explaining how it came about, but hopefully that gives you a little bit of a flavour and an idea of how corporate connectors works.
Okay, Rick, well, thank you very much. And if anyone listening or watching this video either tonight or in the future believes that they could have some interest in joining Corporate Connectors, which is open to any type of business, but primarily small, medium enterprise businesses, please don't hesitate to contact us. We do have some email contacts on the screen at the end of this webinar. But in case you have to go somewhere else beforehand, just send an email to peter@essbiztools.com.au and I'll make sure Rick gets them. So let's go through what's contained within ESS BizTools. It contains a range of free articles. We have key section headings, and within each section there is a range of free articles prepared by ESS BizTools lawyers, benchmarking, insurance companies, and a wide range of other people. So there's plenty of free articles to give a small, medium enterprise operator some comfort about the standard of the material that's contained in the system. There are paid articles, and they are clearly identified as being for sale, and you can source those through clicking on to the shopping cart and be able to buy those products. There is links to a number of our business partners' websites whereby they are offering special rates to people who have been sourced through ESS Small Business for a range of activities, whether it's a benchmark of your business, whether it's a DISC evaluation, whether it's to secure a new business loan, whether it's to secure a new novated lease for on a car. And we are introducing, we think, an Australian first, a Find an Accountant directory. We believe that many accountants are giving too much attention to taxation issues, and we are promoting the concept that in 2015, accountants should be offering you a Chief Financial Officer service for small, medium enterprise. There are a few hundred of those accountants around Australia. They are all subscribers to our major product, ESS Biz Tools. And if you're interested in talking to one of those firms, all you have to do is insert your postcode, nothing else but your postcode, into the Find an Accountant directory on the ESS Small Business site, and you will be able to view on the screen a summary of the names and a brief profile of accounting firms in or near your postcode. Then it's up to you. If you want to make an appointment to go and talk to them, you can do so. No one will know your name. No one will know that you've accessed the site. So if you don't wish to proceed any further, that's your decision. But we're offering that as a very unique service to try to assure the Australian small medium enterprise market that there are a group of accountants out there who are interested in your well-being, who are wanting to assist you to add value to your businesses beyond taxation. So I'm just going to go through now to give you an idea of the breadth of material that's available. So in starting a business, we have human resources, marketing, sales, customers, and bookkeeping. So they're the key sections. There are, every one of those has got free articles that you can download and utilize in your own business. And for some of them, there are paid articles if you wish to access them. Under the heading Working Capital Control, we have the main areas of working capital. Debtors. We have a SME Debtors Manual, which is a very unique document to help businesses implement an appropriate debtors management system. We are alarmed that debtors days outstanding at 51.8 days at present, according to Dun & Bradstreet. Millions of dollars are tied up in debtors. Hopefully, our debtors manual will assist in reducing some of that investment. And obviously, stock is the other major component of the working capital equation that gets some businesses into difficulties. And hopefully those articles will assist you in a greater understanding. The series Managing a Business looks at a number of very important areas: business survival, business success, giving you some free articles, free insights into some of the successful businesses that are operating in Australia and some of the things that they've done. We have a legal section. Small business operators should be proactively seeking legal advice, and I think you all should be having an annual legal checkup. We have some free legal material and we have some paid legal material written by our legal advisor, and we have some commentary on lean management. I never heard the term lean management until a few years ago when one of my clients, it's a very successful steel fabrication business operator, told me about a trip he'd made to Japan to have a look at the Japanese system operating at Toyota. And since then, I've had the opportunity of meeting a number of the Japanese experts in lean management, and I've been very impressed. It's a great system, and we're going to have a number of articles within ESS Small Business on lean management, and hopefully that will encourage you to go off and talk to some experts in that area, because I believe it can make a significant contribution to the way many of us operate our businesses. Under financial management, we have budgets and cash flow forecasts. Benchmarking. I think this is an underused resource in Australia. A firm that's been operating now for nearly 40 years called benchmarking.com, which originally started as FMRC benchmarking at the University of New England at Armidale 40 years ago, is able to give you a snapshot of what other businesses in your category look like, both the outstanding performers, the average, and the mediocre. And it can help you encouraging your own team. When you look at what the average sales per person is by your peers, if they're getting $130,000 a year and you're getting $87,000 a year, I'd suggest you need to have a discussion with your staff. And that's the sort of information and the use of it that you can get out of benchmarking. Borrowing money. We all do that. Some of us do it far better than others. We've got some articles on that, and we have a link through to our mortgage broker who can offer you some outstanding deals, and he's got a special for the first 3 months of a 50% discount on his normal initial fee to assist someone who's looking to enter into a product mortgage to get a new lease or other sort of finance. And motor vehicle leases. We also have a member of Corporate Connectors who can access vehicles and negotiate the right deal for you to enter into a lease of a vehicle. Financial management, directors and corporate governance, looking at a very important area, corporate governance overview. Some of you will be in businesses that have got boards of directors, and hopefully you're growing. Recently, I conducted a special course for 10 companies that had turnovers between $2.5 million and $12 million for one of the Australian government agencies. And the brief was conduct the series as if it was a company director's diploma, but run it as a Reader's Digest type presentation because you only got 7 hours. And the company director's diploma, some of you may have undertaken that course, know that it takes 40 to 45 hours to undertake. So it was very interesting, and we're including some of that material within the material that's going to be available, and you're going to be able to buy a full manual on corporate governance if you wish. And you're under no compulsion on any aspect of ESS Small Business to buy anything. We have put free articles into each of these sections, and if that's all you want to access, that's okay. Risk management covers an enormous amount of areas, obviously insurance, risk overviews, and the activity that Rick mentioned just a while ago, the Personal Property Securities Act and the Personal Property Securities Register. I think this is some of the worst legislation that's ever been introduced into Australia. How the government did not implement an effective nationwide training program for small businesses and for your accountants, because unfortunately, even though I'm an accountant, not many accountants seem to really understand how this legislation works. You can lose your business through the Personal Property Securities Register. You can never lose your business through the GST. Might give you a few headaches, and you've got to pay tax on a regular basis. But the Personal Property Securities Register is a quagmire, I believe, for many small businesses. On my reckoning, in excess of $40 million has been lost through court cases, and unofficial reports are indicating that the loss to businesses, primarily small businesses, through problems under this legislation that have not reached courts could aggregate in excess of $100 million. Sorry, not billion, $100 million. It's a lot of money. And we're going to take you through some of the procedures you might implement to protect yourself. But one of my big recommendations is that you go to an accountant, preferably one of the ones that we are going to identify in Find an Accountant, to make sure that you have at least an annual due diligence review on your internal systems to protect you from falling into enormous problems under the Personal Property Securities Register. And please ignore the helicopter going over. It'll be gone in a moment. There's some material on exporting. The government's very keen to have more businesses export. Always amazes me that more people are not looking at exporting. There's some great government grants in the Export Market Development Grant, and there's material in the system on those. Each month we are producing a free article, which if you don't receive it from the Corporate Connectors member that you're associated with, and you'd like to receive it, please send us an email, peter@essbiztools.com.au or ESS smallbusiness.com.au, and we will send you that article free of charge. And it's going to look at contemporary business matters that are affecting small business operators. And if you have any ideas or suggestions as to content of that monthly newsletter for small business, I'd love to hear from you. Just let us know some of the items that you think we should cover. We have got in excess of 20 past editions of Survival Hints for Small Business. They have been placed into the ESS Small Business website. You can download any number of those, the whole lot if you wish, and read them. The ones that are there are the ones that are still applicable. Some of the articles we'd written over the last 18 months are no longer applicable because something's changed. Government grants can do that to you. We've had a few of the small survival hints for small business looking at various government grants, and then the government's changed its mind on that grant, which is a nice intro to our new product that Rick's very much aware of called Find a Grant. We will be releasing this in about 2 weeks' time. It's a SME grant finder. We've been operating a grant finder for accountants and advisors for the last 3 years, and we've had a lot of feedback from small business operators that they'd like to have their own grant finder, and we will be releasing this, and it will be available for you on ESS Small Business, whereby you'll be able to insert your profile. Will take about 3 minutes to enter your profile, and the system will identify the grants that your business might be eligible to apply for out of the 500 odd grants that are available in Australia from the federal, state and territory governments. We're also about to launch, and in fact tonight is the first one. We're launching a series of free webinars on small business, whereby we will be introducing you to different speakers at each webinar, starting from tomorrow night, and working through 3 to 4 times a week for the first 6 or 7 weeks, and then we'll be reducing it back to once a week. But we want to build up the recordings of webinars so that they are available on ESS Small Business, so that you can go to them and view them if you wish. So if you wish to register for any of the small businesses, all you need to do is go to the address that's on the screen now, esssmallbusiness.com.au, and click on to webinars for small business, and you'll be able to register. So what I thought we would do, we'll just take a couple of moments to go through the webinar program for the next 7 weeks, so that you know. Tomorrow night we have Fiona McTaggart, who is the CEO of Affinity Alliance, which is a outstanding magazine that many of you will be aware of. So tomorrow night we have that webinar. On Thursday evening, we have John Cruz from Bookkeeping Central talking about the bookkeeping assistance that his organisation can give the small, medium enterprises. Next Tuesday, we have Steve Owen talking from On the Level HR, who's going to be looking at human resources issues for SMEs. And in this first presentation, Steve is going to concentrate on the DISC philosophy for how you might be able to use it with your team. On Wednesday of next week, we have Paul Barnaby. Paul's a New Zealand accountant. Don't hold that against him. But he's lived in the Sunshine Coast area for many years now, and he's the Australian representative for Plan Guru, and he will talk about budgets and cash flow forecasts, and will introduce you to some of the deals that his organisation has. On Tuesday, the 6th of October, the day after the long weekend, and hopefully a victory for the North Queensland Cowboys in the NRL Grand Final. I had to get that in. We operate from Townsville, so my Townsville supporters wouldn't be very happy if I didn't promote the Cowboys. But we have Trevor Marchant from Marchant Dallas, who's a professional sales coach. I've done a lot of work with Trevor over the last 5 years, and I can really recommend his sales training courses. And I suspect we all need some sales training courses at various times. We then have Robin Simpson, who's another member of Corporate Connectors from Market Smartly. Robin's an expert in social media and a whole range of other marketing strategies. So you're going to get access to a wide range of people who bring a tremendous amount of skills to share ideas with you. On Thursday, the 8th of October, we have Vince Keogh from benchmarking.com. I talked about benchmarking a little bit earlier. It's an outstanding product that all businesses should be using, I think. And then we have Peter McDougall. Peter is a former colonel in the Australian Army. And I play golf with Peter. And a few years ago, I said to him, why don't you write a training program on leadership for small businesses? Up to that stage, in the 15 years or so up to then that Peter had been out of the Army, he'd concentrated on government and big business training. And he was going all around Asia to major mining companies running leadership training courses. And I convinced him to write one for small business, which we introduced into the ESS BizTools package that's delivered by accountants. And Peter's now written a special set of programs that small businesses can use yourself. So these are available for sale for a subscription, or you can buy the lot if you wish. There are some free papers there that you can download initially to get an idea of what this leadership training is all about. But we all need to improve our leadership skills. And no matter who we are, I think we need to do refreshers every so often. So I do commend the leadership material to you. Damien Arena from IODM has a very interesting computerized package which will help you with your debtors management. Debtors days outstanding are averaging 51.8 days at present. If you could improve that by 5 or 6 days, you will generate a lot of extra cash flow in your business. Robert Holmes from Home Loans Limited, is an expert in arranging loans for small, medium enterprises. Robert's one of the foundation members of Corporate Connectors, and he's very keen to be of assistance. He has agreed to reduce his initial fee that he would charge a new client to undertake a due diligence review and prepare the loan documents, etc., by 50% for the next 3 months for people who access him through ESS Small Business. Milne Alexander are very experienced insurance brokers. Insurance is a huge cost for small businesses, and there's a never-ending worry, really. Have we paid too much, but have we insured for enough? And I get very concerned about loss of profits insurance because I don't think too many people understand that. And I'm sure a lot of insurance salespeople don't, but I have every confidence that Milne Alexander do understand the intricacies of all types of insurance, especially loss of profits insurance, because it's something that's a bit like that personal property securities register. You're not going to know it's a problem until you've really got a problem. And you don't want to be wandering around saying, why didn't I get someone to fully evaluate what my cover was because you've had a fire or a major cyclone damage or something like that. Bud Vergerin is from AutoMates, and Bud's also a member of Corporate Connectors, one of our foundation members, and he has got any number of vehicle financing options available for small, medium enterprises, and he'll talk to you about that on Monday, the 2nd of November, the night before the Melbourne Cup. So you can find out all about your vehicle financing. Tracy Ratteri from Townsville Social Media Marketing is our firm's IT consultant. Tracy's been working with us for probably about the last 10 or 12 years, and she's helped put this website together that we're using, ESS Small Business. She has her own business in social media, and on the 10th of November, she's going to present the webinar looking at getting social media working for your business. Social media is an enormous area. Those of you who are a bit older than 25 know that it didn't exist 10 years ago. It's just one of those new products that are there that we all should now be using in businesses. And last but not least in this series, on the 19th of November, George McIntosh, who is an agent for a fantastic product called Send Out Cards, whereby you can design your own card and have it mailed to someone. It's a unique way because no one sends letters or cards anymore. They send emails. Half the emails never get read. This is a little bit of fun to be able to design your own card and send your own greeting, your own message to your friends, clients, prospects, customers, or whoever. So that's the overview of the webinar program that we're releasing up to the 19th of November. We will be adding to that for the about a further 3-week period after that date to fairly early in December, and then we will adjourn and start our webinars again towards the end of January, because you're probably not interested in getting webinars through the Christmas New Year period. If you have any suggestions on any articles, ideas that you think would be beneficial to your small business colleagues, or if you've got any stories you'd like to tell us that you're prepared to give us that we can utilize. People like to hear true life stories of how people have overcome the obstacles to operate their businesses. And if you're in the unfortunate position that you didn't overcome the obstacles and you're prepared to share the story because it might enhance someone else's business journey, we'd also like to hear from you. We can assure you that we will treat any information you give us in the utmost confidence if that is what you want. But if you're happy to have your names released, we would be quite happy to do that also. But if you say to us, this is in the strictest confidence, but you can use the general theme, we'd be happy to do so. So if you wish to have any further communication with us out of this webinar tonight, please send me an email, peter@essbiztools.com.au. If you're interested in getting further information on how Corporate Connectors operates, send me an email and I will pass that on to Rick Nash and the Corporate Connectors team, so that one of the business development managers within Corporate Connectors can contact you. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for viewing this webinar. We do welcome you to what we hope will be a very long and successful venture between ESS Small Business, representing a group of committed businesses that are members of Corporate Connectors, and some other businesses that are corporate partners to ESS BizTools. We look forward to supplying you with a range of information which we hope will help you add value to your business. So, Rick, are you still there?
I am. Peter, I'd just like to say, Peter, thanks very much for the invite for this evening. And just to say congratulations on what you are establishing. I think it's going to be a fantastic resource. I think you referred to the word community earlier on. I think certainly in Corporate Connectors, we certainly feel that we are part of a community of business owners. None of us know it all. We're all always learning, irrespective of how long we've been in a particular business space. And you're certainly to be congratulated for putting together the platform that you have, and we look forward to being able to support you and the members.
Okay, thanks, Rick. Thanks for joining us, but I can assure you we wouldn't have gone down this path if Corporate Connectors had not been formed, because I couldn't see how we were going to get this enormous business database. So all of you out there in small business land who have heard about this product and have joined us to have a look at these services that we're going to offer on this website, welcome. We look forward to talking to you fairly regularly over the next 6 or 7 weeks because we're going to be presenting around 3 of these webinars a week. And after that, it will be once a week. Have a wonderful evening or day whenever you're viewing this webinar. Thank you all. Good luck in your business venture. Good night.
You know,
Good night, Rick.
no, mate, that was
Yes.
great. Thank you.